He no rā, te rawa waka tēnei te mihi ati rā ki a kuta. I ki te rai taku pāpai a te are ki nā tatane, ako nei pia kua hoki. He no rā, ako te mihi ati rā ki a kuta ki ngā pūmanawa o te arawa. Ta tūrā i raro i ngā taumata kōrero ko te wehi ki te atua te tīmatanga o te whakaaro nui. Whakahono re tia, te moko puna a piki au te ure tārewo, te kīngitanga, a no reira, kei konei ko ngā whakaaro nui a te kīngi Māori atu heiti. E poroporo aki kauana i ngā mate huhua, haere kūtau, haere whakauti atu. Ko te waikai aku kamo, ka maringi mai nei ki runga ki te papa o te whenua, tenei te mihi. E teiwi, tēnā kūtau, tēnā kūtau, tēnā kūtau. I'm glad I wasn't here for Tamati Kruger's kōrero this morning. Ruatoki was inundated with water and Tūhoe didn't know what to do with it just in the last few weeks. And for the leader of Te Whānau Apanui, ka tika tā. He no, he teiwi, kia huri atu rā, ki te whakāturanga, kua whakarite atu nei mō tātou. Ei mua i te tātitanga mai o ngā kōrero ki a tātou. E teiwi tēnā kūtau, tēnā tātou katoa. E teiwi tēnā tātou katoa, a snapshot of the beauty that is the Waikato. I thought it was fitting today to start this piece of kōrero with the vision of the second Māori king, Tāwhianga, that he left for his people in his mai aroha. It's a vision that describes his admiration and respect of the Waikato River. For Wai, water is an inseparable part of our whakapapa and our identity. It's a fundamental part of what defines our very existence. And it's the same vision that Waikato Tainui now aspires for our environment, for our awa, through tai tumu, tai pari, tai ao. It's an ambition of our iwi that the environment will one day be in the state that Kingi Tawhiao observed when he composed his Mai Mai Aroha. And the saying within, tōku awa koiora, me ona pikonga he kurataki hia o te mātāmuri. The river of life, each curve more beautiful than the last. We want to restore life to the river. And to do this, we need to go back to our principles, our values, our beliefs. And we need to change the way people think about our water, our water. Kei te wai te oroko me te whanake o te ora. Water is the creator and the sustainer of life. And so how do we view this in a modern day context? I want to just highlight some of these things and be able to reflect this in a manner of key components of our river settlement. To Waikato Tainui, the Waikato River is a living ancestor, not just a body of water. And the concept of an ancestor river is central to our belief. The river is a representation of the tribe's spiritual authority and power, and it harbours the mauri, the life force of Waikato Tainui. Our river symbolises a tupuna. It is the name from which our tribe derives its identity, and the issues that affect our river ultimately affects the tribe and our people. The Waikato River and the Waikato people are inseparable. And whilst our people might understand the inherent meaning of this, there has always been the challenge of translating these concepts and beliefs into something that the wider community could relate to. A comprehensive approach was needed by the negotiation team to find innovative solutions to ensure our values and principles remained at the forefront of any settlement, and our ultimate aspiration to improve the health and well-being of the river, te mana o te wai. The future health and well-being of our waters is a matter of utmost importance. Firstly, this required a clear and direct overarching purpose: to restore and protect the health and well-being of the Waikato River for future generations. This was re-emphasised by the position of the Waikato River as being more than just a commodity. But more importantly, it was a concept that all stakeholders and communities along the river had to agree with, and which they did ultimately agree with. Next, in order to support the idea of protecting and restoring the river, whilst negotiating the socio-economic connections between the communities with it, solutions had to consider the river holistically, and so capture all physical aspects: the water, the bed, the banks, the floodplains, as well as its metaphysical being. Only when the river was considered as an entity in its entirety could we find more sustainable pathways for our communities into the future. It was our view that the river is to be the beneficiary of the settlement. The Waikato River is over 425 kilometres long and supplies nearly a quarter of New Zealand's electricity generation. Approximately a fifth of New Zealand's exports and more than 10% of New Zealand's GDP is derived from within its catchment. For far too long, the nation has received benefits derived from the river, and though it is the backbone of the energy and primary sectors, it has been overexploited, resulting in severe degradation of its health. And despite its high value to the nation, its health and well-being had never been at the forefront of any form of decision-making in the past. The lower Waikato River is currently classified as a degraded water body, which means it is not suitable for recreational activity. This has been the source of much anguish to the people of Waikato Tainui, and that's why we are one of the primary objectives of this settlement was about the river itself, te mana o te awa. The river has its own mana, and although some may grapple with that concept, to protect that mana is crucial to its future health and well-being. It is our view that the settlement provides a stronger voice to the Waikato River. In 2009, a final deed of settlement was signed for the co-management of the river, completing one major aspect of the work remaining under the 1995 Raupatu claim. The deed is unique because it recognises the special relationship that our people have with the river. Encapsulated within the deed was the restoration of our ancestral right of mana whakahaere, which is a concept of authority involving the exercise of rights and responsibilities toward the protection of the river and all of its resources. The relationship that Waikato Tainui has with its river is unquestionable, and I'm pleased that the Crown, through our river settlement, formally recognises that unique and special relationship. The tribe has provided an archive of historical responsibility, exempling the statements from our kaumātua, further supporting that the river has always been a source of sustenance, healing, comfort, and hope. I acknowledge those kaumātua who, through their wisdom, recorded our histories in our waiata, our karakia, our whakaira. And today, our kaumātua continue to support our aspirations and share their wisdom by involving themselves in our current work programs, projects, and initiatives. And it's sad to say, even though the signing of the deed of settlement in 2010, many of those exponent kaumātuas are no longer amongst us. All of these things in turn are handed down to our rangatahi, so that they too can celebrate the special relationship we have with our ancestral river, so they may recognise the role they will in turn play as future kaitiaki. Furthermore, the deed for the Waikato Raupatu River settlement is the first of its kind, introducing some unprecedented co-management arrangements. A Waikato River Authority whose origins are enshrined in legislation. The development of Te Ture Whaimana, a vision and strategy for the river. The Waikato River Authority is a single co-governance entity established by statute, and its roles and functions are set out in the river settlement legislation, which was passed in May 2010, and its purpose is to provide direction through the vision and strategy to achieve the restoration and protection of the health and well-being of the Waikato River for future generations. It is to promote an integrated, holistic and coordinated approach to the implementation of the vision and strategy and the management of the Waikato River. And it is to fund rehabilitation initiatives for the Waikato River in its role as trustee for the Waikato River Cleanup Trust. It is also reflected in the Ngāti Tū Wharetoa, Raukawa and Te Arawa legislations passed late in 2010 and later in the Maniapoto Bill, thus bringing together all the interests of the iwi that have a relationship with the river. There are 10 members on the authority, comprising of 5 government nominees and 5 iwi nominees, one for each of the 5 affiliated with the river: Waikato Tainui, Tū Wharetoa, Raukawa, Te Arawa, and Maniapoto. Waikato Tainui is the iwi co-chair for the first 5 years. The end of that 5-year period is approaching us shortly. The establishment of the authority was in a way a tangible recognition to our people that for the first time there will be an entity with appropriate authority and power dedicated to be the voice or advocate for the river. For the first time, the river's health and well-being is the priority and catalyst for change. Additionally, the authority reflects the treaty partnership, equal members of Crown and Iwi, and the commitment to work together to restore our awa tupuna, emphasising that the interests in the river are not Waikato Tainui's alone, and neither is the clean-up. Through its legislated functions, the authority will promote an integrated, holistic and coordinated approach to the implementation of Te Ture Whaimana, the vision and strategy. Teeth and law was the catchphrase of the day. This will ultimately culminate in the integration of the functions of at least 9 central government agencies, 7 district councils, and 1 regional council, to better improve the past ad hoc approaches to the management of the river and its resources. Furthermore, the Waikato River Authority has the ability to recommend iwi appointments who are nationally certified through the Making Good Decisions training course to resource consent hearings or boards of inquiry on matters of national importance. This is a significant change to iwi involvement in decision making. Te Ture Whaimana is a document intended to have the same effect as a national policy statement. The intention is quite clear and stated clearly in the deed and the settlement legislation. The vision and strategy is intended by Parliament to be the primary direction-setting document for the Waikato River and activities within its catchment affecting the Waikato River. For the first time, the significance of the Waikato River to Waikato Tainui is formally reflected in the deed and settlement legislation. For resource management purposes, it forms part of the Waikato Regional Policy Statement. It also has an effect on 20 other pieces of legislation. Under the settlement legislation, the authority has the requirement to review the vision and strategy with a purpose to consider the inclusion of specific targets and methods to achieve this purpose. The addition of targets and methods give greater clarity around what needs to be done on the ground and are the catalyst for determining how well we will achieve a clean and healthy river. If it's a priority, we will do a greater job than if we were only to pay lip service to the concepts. The review process provides for public input, and the authority has the power to appoint to hearing committees. Upon review, Crown and Iwi will make a final decision, and any changes will be promulgated by orders in council. Currently, the Healthy Rivers Waiora plan change process is being undertaken, and the plan change must, as an outcome, seek to restore and protect the quality of the water bodies within the Waikato and Waipa catchments. The vision and strategy applies to land within the Waikato and Waipa river catchments and includes all water bodies, including tributaries, streams, lakes, and wetlands within the Waikato and Waipa river catchments. The quality of water in Waikato and Waipa catchments needs to be restored to a level that is safe for people to swim in and harvest kai from over their entire lengths. This aspiration is that kai is safe to eat raw, whilst acknowledging the practicalities of this goal. Swimmable includes in all seasons across a range of flows, with the understanding that different standards might apply at flood flows. However, where there is a strong emphasis on the health and well-being of the river, the tribe seeks a path where cultural, social, environmental and economic aspirations work hand in hand. Waikato Tainui, along with all iwi, had economic aspirations which were undermined with the raupatu. Therefore, Waikato Tainui also have economic aspirations for fresh water, including the sustainable development of our lands, including opportunities for investment that require fresh water, including value adding to sustaining our natural resources, and including value from our better management of our natural resources. Waikato Tainui also wants certainty from any freshwater management framework, just like the existing users. We all know fresh water is vital to our economy. The relative abundance of fresh water in Aotearoa is an important competitive advantage for our economy, not only now, but also into the future. The challenge for all of us is to ensure we manage and utilise the valuable resource in a way that provides for long-term sustainable development, not short-term gains. The way we use water affects the abundance and diversity of aquatic life, the value of sustenance as drinking water, the suitability for recreation, and other important values. The way we use land also affects water quality. Thus, land and water are interconnected. It is simply a case of understanding that the outcome we need is the environment and the economy, as opposed to the trade-off mentality which is often expressed as the environment or the economy. There is a progressive shift in the reform work to associate the allocation and use of fresh water with opportunities for economic success, while at the same time protecting and enhancing te mana o te awa. With clear indications of the likely development of a new system of water allocation, the issue of rights and interests is an important aspect of the future desired engagement. Waikato Tainui want to be part of the freshwater economy, and we have the knowledge and know-how to strike the balance. Our identity as a nation is intrinsically linked to the richness of our society, and a powerful and rich Māori culture has always contributed enormously to how New Zealand is perceived internationally. The New Zealand brand in the 21st century is strongly shaped by Māori culture, and as the economic and political landscape continues to change, iwi are being propelled into new realms of activity and influence. I'm sure you've all read the figures, that the value of the Māori economy is now estimated at around $43 billion. That Māori asset holders currently control 37% of New Zealand's total fish quota and 36% of all forestry assets, and that economists have forecasted an extra $12 billion in GDP per annum and 150,000 extra jobs by 2060. These are successes that all Māori are proud of, but this is just the beginning. While world markets have faltered, Māori enterprises and iwi authorities have quietly gotten on with the business. And while many top companies from 20 years ago have vanished, often with a considerable loss of shareholder wealth, the majority of Māori authorities are still in business and during this period have grown. The government is seeking to maximise the value of freshwater resources. Iwi are not averse to this notion, provided we all operate within robust and enforceable limits that must underpin any new management framework. We are already aware that there is a lot happening within our regions on designing new freshwater management frameworks. We need to learn from our collective experiences in the regions, sharing both the wins and the challenges. Ground truthing concepts and ideas define economics as outcomes that are beneficial for our waterways and our communities, and to reinforce what works. There is a need for iwi and regional councils to build strong working relationships. If we strike the right balance, we can maximise the value of fresh water to the whole community. Whether we value the environment in an economic sense or for its cultural significance, there is one thing we absolutely agree on. Kei te wai, te oroko, me te whanake o te ora. Water is the creator and the sustainer of life. We have a maxim within Waikato Tainui that the river belongs to us just as we belong to the river. Ngā kaupihira, tēnei te pihia tira kia koutou. He whakatā poto a kei kunei tā mati. Tēnā koutou, kia ora tātou katoa.